Good morning. Welcome to Brewing Happiness. We're coming to you, or I'm coming to you live on location from my bed today. If you look around, I am lying in my big, warm, comfy bed. It's made, but I'm on top of it. Um, because I still have house guests, and so I am still on location. And I am in my bed because today I'm talking about self-care. I'm not using a tripod, can you tell? Anyway, caring for yourself, loving yourself, making sure you're okay is a big topic. Everybody talks about self-care, but I've been a busy mom. I've been a working an adult working a full-time, extra full-time job, extra hours, really pushing to get things done. I've been involved in my community and my kids' activities, and so the fact that every moment in my life scheduled and contributing, doing something. And I learned the hard way that not taking care of yourself has dire consequences for all those that you care for. Hi, I'm Tina Ann. Today's Brewing Happiness is dedicated to you and talking about why you deserve to take time to be taken care of. I'm going to offer you some tips and tricks, but first we're going to talk about why it's so important. If you're here on the replay, drop me a line. I'd love to know that you were here. Just leave me a comment on what you think. Maybe share it with a friend if you think they could use this information. I know I have a lot of friends who do. Self-care is for everyone. It doesn't matter how busy you are or how many that you take care of. You can forget to take care of yourself. And the truth is, it's important, it's healthy, and it's critical to your happiness that you maintain a healthy relationship with yourself, right? We're stuck with one person for the rest of our lives. Maybe some people stay and go, but there's one of us that's going to be with us forever. So we might as well be best friends with that person, right? I heard it described one time, if you're not taking care of yourself or you're not being nice to yourself, it's kind of like being in solitary confinement with someone you don't like, right? If you don't like yourself, right? So, excuse me. So, self-care is acknowledging that you are as important as those you care for, that one of those that you are committed to caring for, not just kids, not just loved ones, not just husbands and wives, not just friends, not just coworkers, but you. And as much as you care for the people around you, the truth is, if you don't take care of yourself, there's no one that can do that for you. It can become a healing journey when you take care of yourself. You learn all about yourself as you start tuning in to what do I need, or what would make me feel better, or what would refill my energy bucket, right? As you ask yourself those questions. Because self-care has been shown, studies after study after study. In the past, we used to just study the depressed, the unhappy, and the pathologies, what was wrong. These days, they study the healthy, the happy, the engaged, and they try to understand what are some folks doing right. Positive psychology is a fairly new field, but big and growing. And so the studies coming out of that show that self-care prevents or can prevent or can help you deal with anxiety and depression. Now, some of us deal with anxiety and depression more than others, that's for sure. But everybody got it a little bit, right? And self-care, checking in with yourself, making sure you have what you need when you need it, is one of the ways to avoid that anxiety and depression. And let's face it, when you're anxious, when you're depressed, you're not much good to anybody else. You are not spreading happiness, right? You are not out there putting sparkles into the air to make the others around you smile. You're not throwing compliments. You're not doing all those things that you would be doing when you feel good about yourself. So you are so important to take care of. And the fact is, ain't nobody going to do it but you. So here's a list of a few ideas of taking care of yourself in your busy life, how you can do this. You're not going to stop life and join a spa and, sit in bed and eat chocolates all day. That's not what I'm talking about. I am in bed because I did want to say sometimes it feels good to crawl in your bed in the middle of the day or in the evening or in a moment when you're not sleeping and just read a book, watch a show, play with your puppy. There's comfort in being in your bed. So that's where I decided to show from today, the comfort of my own bed. Now, again, self-care, rambling a little bit, but the benefits of self-care are undeniable and they are documented in scientific studies. Taking care of yourself prevents anxiety and depression, but it also reduces your stress, improves your concentration. When we are so busy taking care of everyone around us, I'm going to use the analogy of creativity, right? When you're thinking and problem solving and working all the time, it's hard to be creative. So you have to step back and make some space in all there for the creativity, for your creativity. Just fill that space, right? And that's where creativity comes from, is filling a space you make by meditating, by exercising, by going deep within, by letting go of the chitter chatter going on here so you can just create some space and let the juices flow. Same thing with self-care, right? You're constantly go, caring for other people, doing things. There's no relaxation. There's no rejuvenation. There's no checking. There's no nothing except constantly on the go. Now imagine if your car were going all the time and you never turned it off. When you got home at night, you left it running and it still had to perform every day without any breaks. Eventually it's going to break down. That might not be a great analogy because cars are a little more reliable than we are, but eventually if you don't change the oil, if you don't pay attention, things are going to go haywire. And that's the same with you. So when you practice self-care, well, then you get well versed in your own needs. Then you start paying attention, checking in. In fact, that's the first thing on my list of ideas about how to have some self-care in a busy life. In a very busy life where you are responsible for caring for the people around you, where you've accepted the responsibility of children, of parents, of work, of volunteering, of whatever it is that you do that keeps you busy all day long, right? The first step is checking in with yourself. How am I today? How am I feeling? What do I need to be happier today? What do I need to let go of some of this anxiety? Again, you're your own best friend. You saw your best friend looking a little stressed, you'd say, hey, what's going on? Can I help? Same thing with you. Hey, what's going on? What can I do? Because remember, you're your own best friend. I'm looking at my notes here, obviously. So a couple of ideas is, another thought is compassion for yourself. We have a tendency, self-care, we think about taking a bath, going to get a massage, right? Doing, getting the pedicure. We think about that as self-care. But really, it's also about the way we think about ourselves, right? It's really the way that we treat ourselves in here. And so number one on self-care, well, after checking in, is compassion. Compassion and forgiveness. So often we have different standards, what we hold those around us to and what we hold ourselves to. We're so forgiving. We're so understanding. We offer so much compassion and forgiveness to our friends and our relatives when they burn out or they can't make it or they don't show up or they, whatever the consequences of not caring for yourself, right? And yet to us, we're like, what is wrong with you? Why didn't you do that? Why couldn't you have more energy? We don't offer that same compassion to ourselves. So number one, treat yourself like your best friend. Offer the same compassion, the same forgiveness, the same understanding to your own self and your own life as if this were your best friend sitting in front of you. Have a gratitude practice in every list of being happier, whether it's how to have more positive thinking or have better relationships or get out of depression or practice self-care. It doesn't matter. On every single list is a gratitude journal, is some form of gratitude, formal gratitude practice. And I've said it before. Sure, you can walk around saying, I'm grateful, I'm happy, I'm grateful for my beautiful life. But there's a lot of power in putting it down in writing, in a journal, in an app on your phone, in a list you carry in your purse. Write it down. What are you grateful for? There is nothing that relieves anxiety and depression like listing all the beauty in your life. Did you wake up this morning? Are you breathing? Pretty good, huh? Are you going to work? Got a job. Did you get in your car to go to work? You got a car. Did you come home to a sink full of dishes? You got food. Be grateful. Be grateful for everything. Well, it just changes everybody's perspective. And then, you know what? Another idea for self-care is step away from the phone. Step away from the social media for times. These last few weeks between the holiday, we had a long vacation, shortly followed by the holidays, and I've been less involved in social media in the last 2 months than I have in the last 2 years. And I have to say, it is making me very happy. Of course, here I am on social media talking to you. So I'm not saying I'm divorcing myself from it, but giving it a proper perspective in your life, giving it its proper placement, not letting it take you over. It's easy to get depressed scrolling through the thread and seeing all the happiness everyone pretending to throw out there. Don't judge. Don't judge yourself through social media. The other thing, I will say this, from a social media perspective, I'm going to say this. I lost my social media account last year in an unfortunate password accident. I lost the password, and the recovery email was an email that no longer belongs to me. So I lost my social media and had to start over again last year. And one of the things I did was I was really selective about what kind of posts I clicked on and what kind of and the friends I accepted. And now my social media feed is only filled with inspiration, motivation, funny puns. I love puns. I love jokes. I love perspectives on life, but I don't see any of the negatives anymore because I cut them out of my social media. You can too. Stop paying attention to them. Scroll past them. Don't touch them. When you touch them and engage, you get more of it. Whatever you pay attention to, like, isn't this a whole life lesson in itself? Whatever you pay attention to, you get more of. Just like on Facebook. What you click is what you see more of. So be very selective in what you observe, what you absorb, what you allow into your life. You can adjust your social media feed to see only good stuff. Let's see. What else we got here? Gratitude, step away from the phone, read. Get a good book and read. That's time to you. There is nothing I love better than reading a good book. And an hour or 2 hours of reading with no one talking to you is a pleasure that few of us get to enjoy, right? Hide away. Go to the library. Lock your door. Go to the park. Find a place to read for just an hour, 1 hour. Get an old book that you love. Get a new book you've been meaning to read. Read for 1 hour. You'll walk away feeling refreshed. Your brain has been taken on a little vacation, transported to a new place to think about new ideas. And when you come back, you're ready to see your life again, ready to do what needs to be done. Read. Declutter. There is nothing that'll make you feel better than taking a few minutes, clean out a drawer. Something small. Clean out a drawer. Clean out a shelf on a cabinet. Put some things away you've been meaning to put away. It's a picker-upper, but trust me, it'll make you feel better. Gardening. There's something so primal about gardening, about putting your hands in the dirt. I have so many flowers, and every day I spend a little time. I call it putzing. I replant. I pick off deadheads. I pull out deadness. I take pieces that have fallen off of other plants and stick them back in dirt. I move things. I just play in my garden every day. It's relaxing. It makes me feel good, and it is self-care. Gardening is self-care. But it's not for everybody. Maybe you got a hobby you love, and that's one of the things on the list for self-care is get you a hobby. There's not much that makes you feel good about yourself than doing something just for yourself, like a hobby. Good morning, Malay. Like a hobby, where you dedicate time to doing something you love because you love it. That's what a hobby is. I have many hobbies, and I'm suggesting that you find one. A lot of times when you say to people, if you had an hour to yourself, what would you do? They go, I don't know. A hobby is something to do. It is pick something you love, pick something that when you do it for 10 minutes, for 2 hours, it feels like 10 minutes has gone by. Swing a golf club, garden, um, make things out of wood. Go to Michael's or the Hobby Lobby and get you a kit and build something. But crafting or hobbies, whatever is your hobby, it's good for the soul. It's good for you. You are spending time with yourself, and your thoughts are directed to something creative, something that you're building, something that you're making, something magical about creativity and how you feel about yourself. Something magical about getting into a creative mood and see how you feel about yourself, or how much calmness you have brought into your life because of this hobby. And then connect. Yeah, feeling like you need some self-care, some recharging time for you? Pick up the phone and call a friend and just have a conversation. That is time for you. Lock the door so nobody can interrupt you, right? Take time for you. These are ideas, but it doesn't matter what you do. Maybe you like to drive your car. Maybe you like to go sit on the beach. Maybe you like to fix the plumbing. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But when you do something that's for you, that's not required of you, that's not a chore, not a favor, not something you're doing because it's, gotta be done, but just something you're doing because you enjoy doing it, building birdhouses, whatever it is, that's time for yourself. That's comfort time. That is self-care. Let's see, what else is on the list? Oh, pretty short, right? Just say no. Sometimes we get so busy, sometimes we're overwhelmed, and we need self-care because we are stretched too thin, because we are doing too much, because we are trying to be everything to everyone. And so we just accumulate responsibilities. Sometimes taking care of yourself is understanding that it's okay to say no. In fact, this same thing happened to me yesterday. I'm very busy. The holidays are coming. I have a big family. We have a lot of holiday activities planned. I'm already feeling a little, you know, trying to get the lights up, trying to get the holidays done. And somebody asked me, I'd volunteer for a group, asked me if I could be in charge of a project, a short-term project that had a lot to do in a short time. And I said, I'll be happy to help, but I'm not going to be in charge. I'm really too busy. Now, I'm just going to say that took a lot for me to say that, because I don't like to say no. I like to say yes. I like to be everybody's friend. Yes, I can do that. I want to be the hero all the time. So it took a moment for me to take a deep breath and say, I'm not going to be able to do this. You know what? It was fine. Everybody was fine. Nobody was mad. But if I had said yes, they would have let me do it. Everybody would have been happy that I was doing it, and I would have been crazy. So be okay to say no. Be okay to say, I got enough on my plate right now. I can't really take that on right now. As much as fun as that sounds to, maybe next year. That's what we decided. Maybe next year. All right. So this is it. Self-care. Uh, the advice here is pamper yourself. You are one of the people that you need to take care of. On your long list of those you care for, care about, take care of, make sure your name is firmly on that list. I'm going to go back to the analogy that I is old and tired, but gets the point across, and that is put the oxygen mask on first. That's not because the second person isn't as important as you are, right? So just in our minds, let's just correlate self-care with putting on an oxygen mask, right? Anything you do for yourself with putting on the oxygen mask. No one is saying you're more important than anyone else, and so you deserve to wear the mask and they don't. That's not what self-care is about. Let's be real clear here. What we're saying is you can't help anyone else. You can't take care of anyone else. You are no good for anyone else if you're not taking care of you. You can't put the oxygen mask on the small child or the elderly person or the perfect or whomever it is sitting next to you if you're not conscious to do it because you've passed out because you forgot to put your own and you put your own mask on. Taking care of yourself is filling up your cup so that it runneth over. Because when your cup runneth over, you are spreading joy and happiness to everyone around you. And that's what we want, right? That's why you're here. That's what I want for you, my happiness hunters, is to be the one spreading the joy, to be the one who walks into the room so happy with yourself and your life that the sparkles light up everyone around you. Good morning, Christopher. And the truth is, you cannot be that person. You cannot light up the room for those around you if you are drained, if you're not wearing the oxygen mask. So get over the idea that taking care of yourself, that doing things nice for you, that taking a whole day to just do what you want to do, taking 1 hour to read a book or garden, that is not selfish. That is mission 1, mission critical. Because like I said, if you're not taking care of you, your cup is not running over. In fact, instead, we're hearing a giant sucking sound as you're trying to fill up the cup. Fill it up first. Fill your cup first, let it run over, and then you're taking care of everyone around you. And that's the way the game is supposed to be played. So that's the message for today. Take care of yourself. Don't feel guilty. It's okay to do something nice for yourself, but you got to keep your energy charged. You got to be happy. You got to be the person you want to be so that you can be there to take care of all of those around you who are depending on you. Make sense? If you like the show, like I said, love it if you'd share it or give me a like or drop me a comment. We're going to keep coming back every day talking about one positive thing in the morning, right? One idea every day we talk about. Just one thing to give you some perspective, help you make it a happy day. So until tomorrow, make it a happy day.